All right, round two on the Nova build. If you watched the first video, you know that had a little mishap with the subframe coming out, car going up in the air, all that fun jazz. But all that aside, we are prepping to install the new RideTech Momentum subframe. Technically, I'm ready to put it in. However, while it's all empty and open here, we should take advantage and clean some stuff up. So I got ahead of myself and did a few things off the camera. I'll show you that now, but the purpose of this video is to continue cleaning it up a little bit. We're going to start installing the vintage air kit because while everything's wide open, I'm going to have a lot more room to do so. May do a few other odds and ends, steering column, just because. Maybe some of the wiring, get some of the new wiring ran. I have an American Auto Wire wiring kit we're going to run. All that fun stuff. But let me flip this around and show you where I'm at. All right, so this is where I'm at currently. You saw at the end of the last video, this was all black and ugly and gross. Now it is not. Well, it's still gross and ugly, but it's not black. So, hey, we made progress. I did spend a couple hours patching some holes in the firewall. There's still a ton of holes, but this is all going to be covered up with a nice fancy plate from Vintage Air. But there was a ton of little sheet metal screw holes and big holes that was used for God knows what over the years. You know, someone probably had some fuel regulators and random relays and, like I said, God knows what on this firewall. So we cleaned a lot of that up, trying to keep this as clean as possible. Again, this is going to have the Vintage Air delete plate, I guess. Luckily, somebody already trimmed the hole for the factory evap core. This was an AC car. When I got the car, there's been nothing. There was a stop sign that was put here. But anyway, so I cleaned this up. We're going to paint it. I filled a lot of the holes in the firewall with some weld, patched a few larger holes. I went ahead and pulled the brake master cylinder and booster out, the windshield wiper motor out, and the steering column out. So the purpose of this video, as I have mentioned about 3 times because I have a habit of repeating myself, we're going to clean it up. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to run the new master cylinder. I got a Willwood master cylinder that I'm putting in. We're going to go from power to master brake, we're going to go from power to manual brakes. Don't ask me why. I just want to. It gives me a lot more room in the engine bay mainly. And if you do it right, you still get a good brake feel, and it's just as strong as power brakes. So we're going to go to a manual master, and then I'm also going to be installing this jazz here for the T56. It is a modern drivelines bracket that will mount behind the master cylinder and adds a new bracket for their clutch master cylinder that uses the existing hole in the firewall. Unfortunately, and I didn't know this until after I was mocking it up before I started recording, I still have to actually cut, and you can see where I made the line right here. You have to clearance that hole a little further for the master cylinder fit, before the master cylinder to fit, and I'll show you here. Try to do it one-handed. All right, there we go. So it's going to sit in there somewhat like this over those holes, and you can't really tell, but if I don't clearance it, which their instructions clearly say you need to clearance it, it actually hits the firewall and it will not fit. So we have to trim that. I do believe that if you go with like the McLeod version, which is very similar, has a similar type bracket, and it has their master cylinder, I don't think you have to do that. However, I did not know that when I bought this piece, but either way, it should work nicely. It'll do what we want it to do, and ultimately that is the goal. So we're going to install that. I got to change out the factory brake pedal to the manual style brake and clutch pedal. And then obviously this big hole here, we're going to go ahead and well, I say we're going to go ahead. We may go ahead and install the main fuse box from the American Auto Wire kit. Man, I'm getting all tongue-tied. You guys make me nervous. Let me set this up out of the way. I also, if you did not know, running the LS T56, I'm going to be running, or I am running the Holley Terminator. So I bought this cheap bulkhead that looks very nice from the Amazon, and I've already made the hole and got it all fitted up in there. It's a two-piece unit. I can't take it apart because I've only got one hand, but you'll see it in a little while, I'm sure. It's a nice piece. It splits, gives me a lot more room to fish the harness through the firewall, and being back here, it's all nice and hidden. Not all nice and hidden, so I don't got a wiring harness like it was originally set up, going from this side of the car across the back. I don't like that. I like to keep it as clean and as hidden as I can. So this will all be hidden behind the intake. It'll look pretty nice. And yeah, we'll go from there. I also think I'm going to go ahead and clean up the tunnel that I welded in here. It is technically two pieces. And there's a reason for that is no longer going to be valid because I'm going to this subframe. But either way, it's two pieces. We're going to do some seam sealer up in there, and then I'll give it a quick coat of paint to protect it from any type of rust in the future. But I think I've rambled there a little bit. You get a good gist of the plans here. So yeah, we'll get going on some of this. I think step one is going to be put a quick coat of primer on the firewall, and then we'll use some of this Vice Grip Garage Rebuild Black. I bought a case of this on one of their giveaways, and actually, really nice paint. I know it's probably just a rebrand of something else, but he's probably talked about it in one of his videos, but really like it. It goes on nice, dries to a nice satin finish, satin or semi-gloss, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to say satin. But yeah, it looks good. So I think you'll be happy with the way it turns out. I did wire wheel it, so it's as smooth as it's going to be. Again, if I had more time, I got to get this car done by July. If I had more time, I'd probably go a lot further on this firewall. I'd probably cut all this out, weld in a nice smooth panel, and do all that jazz, but don't got the time. So we're going to make it look good with what we got. Yeah, let's get going on it. I got ahead of myself. I went ahead and primed it. I even got up underneath the tunnel. But don't worry, we can paint the black together. You won't miss out on all the fun. Yeah. Nice light coats. Leaves a smoother finish. And don't worry about the overspray. The whole car's got to get a full treatment after we're done with this mess, I guess you could call it. Maybe we can put a happy little tree over here. Happy little tree in there. Maybe a bird. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I will say that this paint we got here, it definitely doesn't spray like your traditional Rust-Oleum, but definitely has a nicer finish, so I guess it's okay. Probably cut this little segment short because I don't know how much paint spraying you want to see, but you get the gist. And don't worry, we will get the trees on here. You just won't see them. Gonna go heavier for this little second stint. Yeah, that's looking all right. Alright, that'll do for this. Alright, while we let that dry, we got to play with something else. Alright, so I have yet to do the vintage air stuff because I got sidetracked by putting in the new clutch and brake pedal and ripping out all the factory harness. I'm sure you're aware, but working on your back inside a shell of a car is a pain in the ass, literally. So, you know, because there's stuff in the floor. You get it. Anywho's, I think now I am ready to sand the dash down and paint it. No, we're not going to do that yet. We are going to work on getting the plate that goes out there and the lines that are going to go up through the fresh air vent and out under the fender, between the inner fender well and the fender, because I don't want to do that with the engine in. It'll be not fun. So I think it'll be easier to do now, and then we can work on, you know, other stuff, because we're getting really close to being able to put the subframe in. I also went ahead and threw in the new throttle cable, and well, that's it. So that took about an hour where you weren't watching, and that took longer than I thought it would, to be honest with you. But anyway, it's all cleaned out. I am going to clean it up in here a little bit and maybe give this a quick squirt of paint just to keep it looking fresh and clean. But all right, let's move on to vintage air. All right, boys and girls, change of plans again. After reading more of the instructions on the vintage air, I'm not ready for it. I need to get more of the interior done before I'm ready to do some of the steps required to make my life easier with the engine in, but we're just going to have to deal with it. We'll get into that later. But so what we are going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get the master cylinder on with the, I lose everything. There we go. All right. We're going to get the brake and the clutch master cylinder fitted up here. Remember, I have to trim this hole nicely. I think we're going to use a burr bit and just eat away a little bit at a time till we get to where we need to be. Get that stuff mounted up and get it hooked up to the pedals I put in there. And yeah, see where that leaves us. Maybe I'll lay the wiring harness in there. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's just get this done first, see where we're at, and take the next steps from there. All right, so ground that down a little bit. I test fit it with the master and it does clear just fine. I am going to need to come in from the inside and seal that up with something. Probably use some Dynamat, maybe some half a grommet. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But for now, we are going to go ahead and put this little unit up on the firewall, and I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom two bolts in. Like so. Because, you know, it can get confusing. That's sarcasm, in case you didn't catch it. You know, torqued. Alright, and then we've got this nice 15/16 bore master. I need to get that grommet. I used this on the last build and works well. Works well for, you know, manual brakes. All right. Set that there for a moment. That looks nice at least. We're going to need that stuff in a second. But in the meantime, let's get this unit on here. And before anyone says anything about bench bleeding, don't you fret. We're going to bench bleed it, quote unquote bench bleed, with it in the car, because that's what I want to do. Alright, I'm going to get this put on here, and then we're going to get that bolted up. Push it into its home, because you know it fits so nice. Actually, it doesn't. Oh, come on. Oh, almost forgot. I need this on first. And that's not going to fit that way, so we're going to put it on the outside. It'll still do the same thing, ish. If not, I'll have to redo it. No biggie. Alright, ain't going to fit. What do you know? Alright, momentary lapse here. Let me think on it. But in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and put the bolts in here. Just, you know, like the way it looks. It gives you motivation to continue. Man, tonight has not gone to plan. I can tell you that. But, you know, little steps. That's all we need to do. Oh, look. What do you know? Don't fit either. All right. Well, at least it looks nice. It's not permanent, because I am going to have to take it apart, or more than likely I'm going to have to trim this section here of the bracket for the proportion valve, because it's hitting the stud below. But either way, looks nice. I'd say we're about ready for the subframe. I think for the rest of this video, I am going to go ahead and toss in something. No, gotta wait on that. I don't know. Let me see what I got kicking around, see what we can finish this off with, and then, yeah, prepare for the big install. Alright kids, it's been a few days since we played around with this car, but since nothing has gone to plan at all, I went ahead and put sound deadener on the firewall, so that's done. Oh, and then I got a little ahead of myself and ambitious and did the rear of the car. Looks fantastic with some Amazon special kill mat. I do have Dynamat pre-cut stuff for the floors, but we're gonna wait until we do the seat brackets for that. So what we've got going on now, other than these fellers working on small block Chevys and some demo motor over there from a Chrysler, I think we're gonna wrap this up and get ready to put this subframe in the next video. So yeah, if you've stuck around watching me start something and then realize I couldn't do it because of this reason or that, appreciate you. You solid. Yeah, we're gonna move on and close this out and, you know, play with this unit. So thanks for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, going to the zoo, and all that fun stuff. Until next time.